G'day, Jeff Lewis here from Seriously Series, and I'm back out bush. And I've been filming a new adventure series, and as you can see with the mess of cords here, I've been charging some camera gear here this morning. Now, I'm getting ready for the big day ahead, but I have a question. Will it start? Who knows? So today I'm going to show you the dual battery system that I have in the Land Rover Series 2. It's one that has been working for over 60 years and was fitted to the vehicle the day it was conceived. It's simple, it's effective, and it's pretty reliable at times. So if you want to find out this and more, as always, you know exactly what to do. Click on that subscribe button down below, click on that notification button too, but if all else fails, you know the drill. Stay tuned. So the first thing that we want to do is obviously make sure that we've got a crank handle or a starting handle. Set of keys is handy if you need them for your Land Rover. And what we want to do is dive into the cab and actually switch the ignition on, make sure the car is out of gear, but also have the handbrake on. Now, why are we going to use the crank handle? Well, we're just setting a scenario here. If you've hopped in the car and your starter motor has failed, which has happened to me in the past, or you've found that it just doesn't have enough voltage to turn it over, that's when you have to call on the crank handle. Now, because I'm starting this up for the first time today, we need to do something else to make it a little bit easier. And what we need to do is actually dive under the bonnet and actually use the handle on the side of the lift pump or the fuel pump, as this is a petrol. And basically we want to keep pumping that lever until it goes nice and easy. There's no resistance there. And that will indicate that the fuel lines are primed, and that's actually gone up to the carburettor and filled up the float bowl, which it should have fuel in it, but sometimes it doesn't. When that's full, as I said, we'll go inside the cab, we'll switch the ignition on, and then I depress the accelerator a couple of times, and that shoots a little bit of fuel into the motor. Then we'll come out and we'll put the crank handle on and we'll get this party started. Okay, so let's nip into the cab and I'll show you what goes on there, and then we'll dive under the bonnet and get it going. Now, it's a little bit hard to show this, but if you're unfamiliar with the 2.25 litre petrol engine, it's a bit different if you've got a 2.6 litre or a diesel. But either way, the side that the distributor's on, just next to it, further to the back towards the firewall or bulkhead, you'll find the fuel pump, and there'll actually be a handle on the side. It's pretty hard to miss even with these, so I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. I have faith in you. So take that off, and you'll be able to hear the fuel or the air getting pumped out. So that's gone easy, so we'll stop there. We've still got it in gear. Now the next thing we need to do, sorry, shouldn't walk off camera like that, I'm just getting excited, is put the crank handle in place. So I'll show you how to do that. Rightio, so I've got this little hole here, and it's obviously got some little notches either side, so these notches here obviously need to slide through, so we put it sideways through like that. And it will slide through the hole in the chassis and this is where it can be a bit of fun. There's a dog clutch on the end of the crankshaft, so what we need to do is get that to line up. See how we go. You can see quite poorly, but you can see the crank handle here. If I wiggle it a bit with my foot, and then you've got what I call the dog clutch. So the good thing about this design is you can only spin the motor one way. If I turn it the other way, if I can get my foot to do what it's meant to do, you'll see it wants to spin out. So that's a bit of a safety feature that I'll talk about in a minute. So when it actually comes to using a starting handle or a crank handle, a lot of people do it a number of different ways. I've seen people kick it with their foot. I've seen other people reef on it like so and go around and round. But I do it the way that I was told by my grandpa. And it obviously worked because he only broke his thumb once, and after that he referred to this method. So basically what you do is you get your hands, 2 hands always. You keep your thumbs pointing up because it's a great day ahead. And what you do is you basically put one hand in front of the other like that. So you're just clasping it. And you don't hang on for the full rotation of it. And you don't try and force it into the motor either, because otherwise it's going to spin you right round, a bit like the song. So that's a couple sort of, safety tips, I would say. And like anything, just treat it with respect and you won't have any problems. I've been doing it this way for 16 years and knock on wood, I hopefully won't have any floppy wrists or thumbs by the end of this video. I know the suspense must be killing you, eh? Anyway, let's get it going. And there you have it. Now that's a cold start, so usually takes a couple goes. A bit like us in the morning, it takes a few attempts to get out of bed sometimes. But either way, it works. And it is such a handy piece of kit. I've showed in our Servicing Your 4x4 episodes. You can use it to set your timing. If the car's completely stuffed and you need to move it out of a creek bed or somewhere, you can just take all the spark plugs out, put it in low range and just turn it over like a wind-up toy, and it'll drive itself out very, very slowly and painfully, but it does work. So yeah, it's fantastic. You can buy these brand new and they don't cost an arm and a leg. They're much cheaper than a purple arc or a red arc or whatever other arc you want to put in your 4-wheel drive. So anyway, so I know many of you know this trick and hopefully you've still enjoyed this video, and for those of you who have just stumbled across this, hopefully it's a bit of a revelation and an enjoyable video as always. And if it is, please give us a thumbs up, please click on that subscribe button, please click on that notification button, and if you're thoroughly enjoying the content here at Seriously Series, then make a big difference and help Seriously Series and support us on Patreon. But anyway, I've got some trails to blaze today and I know this is dying to get out there. So we'll catch you in our next video. See you then.